time to lock in for the next couple of months. We are in quarter 4, and in order for you to get to your goals and do what you need to do for the year 2026, you definitely need to lock in, and I'm going to tell you how and ways that you can do that. The first thing that you need to do is get rid of distractions. That can be your phone, that could be your bad habits, your friends, your family, your environment, even your workplace, and even yourself. We are always getting distracted away from our goals, and then as time goes by, we're supposed to be way ahead, and we actually didn't accomplish nothing because we had too many distractions going on. Sometimes we don't even notice when things are a distraction. For an example, I'm a person that loves social media. I love watching content creators. I love YouTube. I love Instagram. I love TikTok. But if I'm not careful, all the hours that I spend on social media could be very bad. I can literally scroll on one video and then 6 hours go by and I did not accomplish nothing that I had to accomplish for the day. I was supposed to create the content. I was supposed to work out. I was supposed to answer emails. I was supposed to do other things other than scroll on social media for hours that now I can't get back. So when it comes to understanding how the smallest things could become a big distraction, that's when you can understand when you need to take your time back and stick to your goal. So if you're a person that loves social media like myself, what you should do, what I've been doing, is allocating different time blocks so that I am able to get stuff done and go on social media. So I would treat this content creating as a 9 to 5. At 9 I would start. Let's say around 1 I will have a break, and that's the time that I'll be on social media. After my break is done, I'm back to getting my content done, and I'm back to getting things that I need done out the way. That's the thing. That's the way that I found has been more useful than me just, being super strict and not having my phone around me at all. It would drive me crazy. So what I do is I time block, and I make sure that I'm being proactive with the time that I have to shoot content, and I'm also giving myself little treats, which is like social media time, maybe 1 to 2 hours in between me shooting for a long period of time to just scroll and just get inspiration. That's the social media as being a distraction. Your friends and family could be a distraction. Oh, they could always hit you up to go out when you're supposed to lock in and get your work done, probably study for a test, probably save money, and you know that you're not supposed to be spending going to the club or going out to eat to another brunch or a girls' night when you were supposed to save that money 2 girls' nights ago, but you keep allowing these distractions to put you in a hole. So your friends could be a distraction. Your workplace could be a distraction. Sometimes your workplace has a lot of drama, and you know that you need to go find a different job with a better work environment, but yet you allow yourself to keep getting distracted from what you're trying to really accomplish. You really want to lock in and get rid of all the distractions, because at the end of the day, this is your life, and if time goes by, time waits for nobody. We only have 24 hours in a day, so if you have things that you need to get done, make sure you're getting it done, because you can't always be a victim. Sometimes you're choosing the distractions. A good quote that I heard recently was like, a game can only be played if the character is involved. If there's no character involved, there's no game. So yeah, really get tight on the distractions and try to limit them as much as possible. The next one is my favorite, which is be delusional. I've been called delusional almost every day. Every day I tell people this is my goals, this is how I'm going to get done. I'm going to live the soft life with minimal efforts, which means I'm working smarter and more strategic than harder. I'm called delusional, but that's fine. I am going to be that delusional person, because without delusions, nobody would have achieved their dreams. If Beyonce wasn't delusional, she would never be Beyonce that she is today. If Rihanna wasn't delusional, she would have never been Rihanna that she is today. The high income earners, the business owners, the content creators, the successful people that we see, if they were never delusional, they would not be where they are today. Look at the inventions, the things that was established and created. If they didn't think, If they didn't use their imagination, if they didn't become delusional and obsessed with their thing, they would have never created the inventions. We would not have a lot of things that we have today. So being delusional is something that you really need to do in order to create that vision for your future self. A person like me, I need to see things. So I create vision boards. I create mood boards so I can, visually see what I'm trying to create and achieve. And when people call you delusional, cut out the noise. It is not for everybody to understand where you're trying to go. It is not their path. It is your path. Because if you're not careful, you would allow people to talk you out of your dreams. You would allow people to talk you out of your calling. You would allow people to talk you into living a regular, mediocre life that they're living, and you would hate yourself. So you have to be very careful and cut out the noise of the naysayers, of the people. I'm not even going to say that they're hating on you. They just don't understand the vision. People normally don't understand or see the seeds that are being planted until you're in your harvest season, and they could see, oh wow, that did work out. Oh my God, you really did turn your dreams into reality. So I wouldn't fault them and call them haters. They just don't understand, and sometimes it's hard to understand or see things that you can't see. For example, I'm a person that I have been a victim of not being able to walk by faith and not by sight. I'm a person that if I'm not seeing something work out, I'm just like, am I supposed to be doing this? Am I on the right path? So I also had to understand, like, you're not going to see the growth overnight, but if you stick through it and you don't give up and you do the things that you know you're supposed to do and the stuff that you love, compound interest is very important. I started my channel off with 0 subscribers, and now I have almost 2,000 subscribers by doing things day by day. And you have to just keep going and just cut out the distractions. So many people called me crazy. So many people called me delusional. I need to give up and I need to find something else. But if I was to let them talk me out of what I feel like is my calling and what I love and what I want to do, I would be miserable somewhere else and probably stuck in a position that I don't want to be, and I wouldn't be feeling fulfilled. So do not allow people to put their opinions, their negativity, and their not knowingness into your plans. My next tip is becoming devoted. I watched one of my favorite YouTubers, Haley Gamba. She made a video about being disciplined versus being devoted, and as women we don't like to hear the word discipline. So a good word that she said was be devoted to your goal, be devoted to your passion, because at the end of the day, when you're devoted to something, it doesn't feel like discipline. It doesn't feel like you're sacrificing a lot of you. It feels like you're devoting yourself to the greater picture. So I actually really love that saying, because I don't like to hear discipline. I don't like to hear about sacrificing and struggling to get to where you want to go. So hearing the word being devoted, which means you're showing up because that is something that you want to do, is something that is more digestible to me. So just be devoted to your craft. That being devoted will help you show up when you don't see any progress. It will help you show up when things are not looking good. It will help you show up even when you're not motivated, because you're not going to always be motivated. But technically the word is being disciplined, but I like the word being devoted more. So she did make a great point on being devoted versus being disciplined. So yeah, you want to just be more devoted to your craft, to whatever your goal is, and really stick to it and show up even though you're not getting the applause right now. But the only person that needs to be applauding you is you, because you're logging in for the betterment of yourself. Now the next topic is raise your standards and getting out of your own way. Raising your standards doesn't always have to mean raising it for relationships and dealing with men and other people. It means raising your own standards for yourself. If you know that you need to lock in and work out because you want this dream body, you need to raise your standards of you're only eating healthy. You're only going to be moving your body and working out, because that's the only way you're going to see the progress on getting that body that you want to achieve. Raise your own standards. Don't have these high expectations on men that want to date you, on friendships, and you're not even having or sticking to your own standards when it comes to yourself. That is very contradictory and that is very biased. So have high standards with yourself and get out your own way. A lot of times we are not progressing in life because we're getting in our own way. We're sleeping in too long. We're not doing the things that we're supposed to do. We're letting other people distract us. We are literally self-sabotaging our own progress when things are starting to, grow and move forward. That's the way that we can get in our own way and cut the progression down by like 50%. Versus, sticking to the plan, getting out of your own way, and having high standards for yourself. You got to eat clean if that's a standard that you have. You have to be surrounded by people that are positive and not these gossiping ass girls that don't have much going on for themselves. You have to want to have a better... You have to kind of be strict on yourself, because if you're not strict on yourself, you're going to let anything go. You're going to let anything be, and you're just going to live life carelessly. And then as time goes by and you look back, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I literally let this shit get too crazy. I am a person that I need to be strict on myself, because I would literally make excuses for scrolling on my phone, being in my bed, not working out, and not doing the things that I know I'm supposed to do. And that's when I had low standards for myself, because I felt like, oh, I could just give myself anything. I could just show up and do anything, and I'm supposed to just accept it, and I want other people to accept what I'm giving them. No. Raising the bar on myself and raising my own standards has allowed me to really shift and live the life intentionally the way I wanted to. And there's always room for improvement. And the last thing is checking in with yourself more than often. You don't want to just wait every quarter to check in with yourself. Let's say check in weekly. Did you accomplish saving $20 or $40 for the week out of every paycheck that you got? If you're trying to, pay off debt or create a cushioned savings account, did you make sure you ate in more than you ate out this week, or bi-weekly? You just have to check in with yourself weekly, because if you're playing these blindfold games and you're not paying attention to your progress, you're gonna fall off. It's easy to fall off of things that we're not paying attention to. So making sure that you're checking in with yourself weekly and holding yourself accountable is something that's gonna really skyrocket your progress for 2026. And by that time, you're already keeping these habits in rotation, so where that this is something that is going to be a part of your lifestyle, because all it takes is one day for you to do something, then it takes 2 weeks, and then 3 weeks, and then a month, and then it starts becoming a habit. So making sure that you're checking in, sticking to the goals. I say this to say that even though you make a list and check in with yourself, and make a vision board, not everything is going to be checked off this quarter or this year. Sometimes goals that we put on our vision board is for 2 to 3 years later, and we're not aware of that. I don't want you to beat yourself up if you didn't accomplish everything on your vision board or everything on your goal list, but the fact that you're taking steps and taking initiative to complete those things on the vision board and on the list is something that you need to applaud yourself for, and you would thank yourself, your future self would thank you for the work that you're doing now. For example, I wanted to move into a luxury apartment with his or her sinks. I wanted to have like a kitchen island, because my last apartment didn't really have an island, so it was just the stove and the countertop connected to the sink. So I was like, you know what, I want a new apartment. I want it to be very luxe, very upscale, like a gated community type of apartment. So I would say 2020 I wanted that, and I would tour like apartments with that type of aesthetic, and I would like take pictures and put it on my vision board. And then I just realized this year that the apartment that I'm currently in now is literally the apartment that I manifested for myself in 2020. Right? I had to move back home at one point. I had to live in an apartment that just wasn't cute. So I was just like, wow, this is the apartment style that I've actually wanted. It's not the exact apartment that I toured, because that one was like, I think a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It had like a yard, but that's like on my next goal. That specific house would be on my next vision board if it is supposed to happen. If I'm supposed to live in there, I would be able to live in there. But I just realized, like, wow, this current home that I'm in is something that I wanted to have back in 2020. So 5 years later, like I'm saying, it's not always going to be checked off right then and there. But you can still achieve it. You can still accomplish it. So that's the thing. Don't beat yourself up if you didn't accomplish it this month or this year. There's years to come where you're living in your manifestations and you're like, wow, I did manifest this. I did put this on my vision board 2 months ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So that's all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, let's chit chat in the comments. Let's talk about what our lock-in goals are. What are we going to be doing to lock in for 2026? Because we're coming better and bigger this upcoming year. Bye.